Okay, so welcome to my kitchen living room floor, as opposed to my hobby bench. This is the second of two airplanes and engines that I got in this latest Facebook Marketplace deal. Now, as you can see, those that are very astute can see that this is a Piper Cub. Now, in my estimation, and kind of the only reason I'm looking to make this video is, I just out of curiosity, I'd like to kind of know which Piper Cub this is. As far as I know, there were, Great Plains made a Piper Cub, Sig made several Piper Cubs, Goldberg Anniversary Edition Piper Cub. I don't believe that this is, I'm not sure what this one is, but this is about a 1/5 scale clipped wing version. Obviously, it's a clipped wing. This has got a 55-inch wingspan, and it's your typical 5th scale. I mean, it's probably 45, 46 inches length and fuselage. But I was going to take the camera off the tripod here and get a little bit closer up views of it too, because maybe some of the way it's constructed will help me and others identify exactly what this Cub is. Now, this also has barn door style ailerons that are actuated by one servo here, not two. And when I take the wing off, you'll see that I think it's rather interesting how the person that designed or built this decided to not finish the underside of the wing. But so some of the things that I thought were interesting, I'm trying to look for clues on the construction is, and I'll get a closer view here, is the shape of the nose and the fact that this firewall is flush and it's not recessed. The shape is just, it doesn't, I've looked at the Goldberg Anniversary Edition Cub and the Sig 1/5 scale, and it just doesn't look like it's as rounded as this. The inside here, inside the canopy, and like I said, I'll get the camera down here closer here. This thing's in a really rough shape. It's got a lot of holes in the wing. The only reason I got this for so cheap is, I got it for cheap is because I wanted the engine, which just so happens to be an Enya 45. I don't know exactly which model it is. It might be the 6001. It turns over, but it needs to be cleaned up. So anyway, the parts here inside, it looks like they're wood. And like I said, I'll get closer up here in a minute. The wing connection point is these two wires, or two spring steel things that come together and connect and protrude through the top there. So let me go ahead and start taking this wing off. I don't know if I'm going to take the camera off or just zoom in on this or bring this up closer. I'm not sure yet. But I mean, overall, this thing is in pretty rough shape. I have no aspirations, as Chris on Perky Planes and RC is doing, of refurbishing this thing. So here's the underside of the wing. And so I'm hoping that maybe, if this is stock, someone can look at that structure and say, hey, oh, that looks familiar to me. Because like I said, I don't believe that this looks like a Goldberg Cub at all. I think it could possibly be a Sig, but I think maybe that's going to work out better if I just do this. But I thought the Sig one probably has barn door ailerons. I think the Goldberg Cub does not. So here's the inside, and here's that, I don't know, wing joiner. It's not the wing joiner, but the spar type thing, or it's not a dowel in this case. It's two metal rods that are wired and soldered together to form that protrusion to go in there. But it looks like this is wood, and those look like wood. A lot of times that'll just be a single, it won't be full like this and built out like this. So I don't know if that was just some kind of detail this person decided to, decided to do here or what. But maybe you can see some of the inside structure, if I can keep this like this, of this. It looks like it's got push rod. The push rods are dowel or balsa push rods. I'm not sure how well this is working out. But anyway, so that's kind of, I don't know, a bunch of stuff might come fall out. Here's the bottom of the landing gear. So many of these things can help people that have built these things possibly identify what they're seeing here. That's assuming that all of this stuff is stock. Here's our tail wheel. But anyway, so I need another airplane, like I need another hole in the head, because I really just, as all of you know, I'm not in a flying place, position in my life right now. Here's the wing hold down bolts. And I see these deals for, you know, super low prices, and I'm in it basically just to get the engine. Now, the problem with this engine is this, you know, it doesn't have the stock Enya exhaust, so that's kind of an issue. But I mean, this is an Enya, so it'll run. All I gotta do is clean this thing up and make it pretty again, and then I'll probably end up just giving it away to somebody, or, you know, it's not worth a whole heck of a lot, I'm sure, but it feels like it's got good compression, and it'd be interesting to see how much runtime this thing's got, because from what I hear from this fellow, these were all his dad's, but these have been sitting in hanging from in a bar setting or a hobby shop for many years, and of course it's starting to show. But so that's our video of this 1/5 scale Piper Cub of some manufacturing origin. I'm not sure exactly what it is. That was the other thing, is how this is mounted in the shape of this, because a lot of these, this one mount would be right up near the top, and in this one it's down a little bit lower, so that's why I'm not sure of the way this firewall looks. It almost looks like this firewall was kind of an afterthought, something added to it after the fact. It just doesn't look right to me. But anyway, so that's our video showing this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I guess I'm just going to yank the engine off of it and go stuff this out in the garage someplace, because quite honestly it freaks Sasha out to have these airplanes sitting around like this, and I don't need her all freaked out. But that's our video for today.